Adulthood is often regarded as the hallmark of maturity, but what does it really mean to be mature? Maturity refers to physical stability, responsibility, and a deep appreciation of oneself and others, as measured by psychological assessment. It requires the ability to process emotions, navigate complex social situations, and make informed decisions. This path of growth is influenced by a variety of factors, including life experiences, cultural background, and personal development efforts. Understanding the psychology of maturity helps us to appreciate the intricate process that leads to well-rounded individuals. Envision a quiet lake reflecting the magnificence of a dusk. The water is calm, however profound, holding riddles underneath its surface. This quiet scene mirrors the substance of maturity, steady, intelligent, and significantly smart. But what precisely makes somebody develop? Is it age, involvement, or maybe something more profound inside our mind? Digging into the brain, research of development uncovers an interesting embroidered artwork of enthusiastic direction, compassion, self-awareness, and versatility. These characteristics, woven together, make a representation of a person who navigates life with elegance and intelligence. Emotional direction is a foundation of mental development, encapsulating the capacity to oversee and react to a cluster of enthusiastic encounters in an adjusted and helpful way. This capacity recognizes developed people, empowering them to explore life's challenges with composure and mindful thought or maybe than rash responses. To get at this characteristic in profundity, we must investigate the different components and instruments: basic passionate control, the variables that contribute to its improvement, and the significant impacts it has on an individual's life. At its center, enthusiastic direction includes the capacity to recognize and get at one's feelings, survey the setting and escalate of these feelings, and choose on suitable reactions. This handle can be broken down into a few stages: enthusiastic mindfulness, enthusiastic acknowledgement, cognitive reappraisal, and behavioral response. Emotional mindfulness is the starting step in passionate control. It includes recognizing and distinguishing one's feelings as they emerge. This requires a certain level of reflection and self-awareness, permitting people to pinpoint not as it were what they are feeling but to why they are feeling that way. Developed people regularly display a tall degree of passionate insights, which encourages this mindfulness. They are capable at recognizing between diverse feelings and understanding the unpretentious subtleties that separate comparative sentiments, such as dissatisfaction and outrage, or pity and disappointment. Once feelings are distinguished, the another step is enthusiastic acknowledgement. This includes recognizing and tolerating feelings without judgment. Developed people get it that feelings are a common portion of the human encounter, and or maybe than stifling or denying awkward sentiments, they permit themselves to encounter these feelings completely. Acknowledgement does not cruel renunciation, or maybe, it is an affirmation that feelings, indeed the negative ones, give profitable data almost one's inside state and outside circumstances. The prepare of enthusiastic control too intensely depends on cognitive reappraisal, a methodology where people change their elucidation of a circumstance to alter its passionate effect. Developed people exceed expectations in this region due to their capacity to see its circumstances from numerous points of view. For case, if somebody gets negative criticism at work, a developed individual might see this as an opportunity for development and change, or maybe than an individual assault. This capacity to reframe encounters emphatically makes a difference. Moderate, strongly enthusiastic responses and advances a more adjusted enthusiastic response. Behavioral reaction is the last range in passionate control. It includes choosing how to act based on one's passionate and cognitive evaluations. Developed people frequently select reactions that are valuable and in line with their long-term objectives and values. They tend to approach unpleasant circumstances with a calm and measured mien, selecting for arrangements that resolve clashes or maybe then worsen them. This can be seen in their intelligence with others, where they communicate viably, tune in effectively, and express their feelings in a sound and conscious manner. The advancement of passionate control abilities is impacted by different variables, counting hereditary inclinations, early life encounters, and continuous individual improvement. Investigate proposes that certain hereditary components can impact the standard of an individual's enthusiastic reactivity and direction capabilities. Be that as it may, natural components play a pivotal part in forming these abilities. Early childhood encounters are especially noteworthy in the advancement of enthusiastic direction. Children who develop up in steady and sustaining situations are more likely to create secure connections and viable enthusiastic direction aptitudes. Positive child rearing homes, such as responsive caregiving, reliable teach, and enthusiastic approval, offer assistance. Children learn how to oversee their feelings helpfully. On the other hand, unfavorable childhood encounters, such as disregard, mishandle, or conflicting child rearing, can impede enthusiastic direction advancement, driving to troubles in overseeing feelings afterward in life. Ongoing individual improvement too contributes to enthusiastic direction. As people age and pick up more life encounter, they experience different circumstances that challenge their passionate reactions. These encounters give openings to hone and refine enthusiastic direction aptitudes. Developed people regularly lock in self-reflection and look for criticism from others, which makes a difference. Them get at their enthusiastic designs and distinguish regions for advancement. Numerous moreover embrace mindfulness hones, such as contemplation or journaling, which improve passionate mindfulness and regulation. The impacts of successful enthusiastic direction on an individual's life are significant and far-reaching. Candidly directed people tend to encounter superior mental well-being, with lower levels of uneasiness, discouragement, and push. They are way better prepared to adapt with life's challenges, keeping up a sense of steadiness and strength in the confront of difficulty. This flexibility stems from their capacity to handle and adjust to negative feelings without getting to be overwhelmed. In connections, passionate direction plays a vital part in cultivating sound and fulfilling associations. Developed people can explore interpersonal clashes with sympathy and understanding, which makes a difference, avoid heightening, and advances determination. They are more likely to communicate transparently and confidently, communicating their needs and sentiments without turning to hostility or passive aggressiveness. This capacity to handle passionate traits valuably fortifies connections and builds belief and intimacy. In the work environment, enthusiastic direction is related with higher levels of work execution and fulfillment. People who oversee their feelings well are way better at dealing with push, keeping up center, and making judicious choices. They are regularly seen as dependable and composed, which can upgrade their proficient notoriety and open up openings for career headway. In addition, candidly directed pioneers can rouse and spur their groups, cultivating a positive and beneficial work environment. From a societal viewpoint, far-reaching passionate control contributes to social concordance and cohesion. When people oversee their feelings viably, they are less likely to lock in destructive behaviors, such as viciousness, substance mishandle, or segregation. Instead, they contribute to a culture of sympathy, regard, and collaboration, which benefits communities as a whole. While enthusiastic direction is a trademark of development, it is critical to recognize that it is not an all-or-nothing characteristic. Everybody has minutes when their enthusiastic direction vacillates, and these slips do not invalidate their general development. What recognizes developed people is their steady exertion to get it and move forward their passionate reactions, indeed in the confront of challenges. They see difficulties as openings for development and proceed endeavoring towards more prominent passionate adjust and resilience. The travel towards passionate control is progressing and energetic. It requires non-stop self-awareness, reflection, and hone. Developed people regularly look for out devices and procedures to back their enthusiastic control, such as treatment, mindfulness hones, or stretch administration methods. They get it that enthusiastic control is not approximately stifling feelings but almost joining them into their lives in a solid and adjusted way. Therapeutic mediations, such as cognitive behavioral treatment, CBT, and persuasive behavior treatment, DBT, are especially successful in upgrading enthusiastic direction aptitudes. CBT makes a difference. People distinguish and alter unhelpful thought designs that contribute to passionate trouble, whereas DBT centers on instructing aptitudes for overseeing strongly feelings and making strides interpersonal connections. These treatments give organized approaches to creating passionate control and can be advantageous for people at any range of their development journey. Mindfulness hones, such as contemplation, yoga, or deep breathing works out to bolster passionate control by advancing more noteworthy mindfulness and acknowledgement of one's enthusiastic encounters. These hones energize people to remain show in the minute and watch their feelings without judgment, which makes a difference, decrease reactivity and upgrade enthusiastic balance. Stress administration procedures, such as standard physical workout, satisfactory rest, and sound sustenance, are basic for keeping up generally passionate well-being. When the body is well rested and fed, it is superior prepared to handle push and keep up passionate balance. Develop people regularly prioritize self-care and embrace way-of-life propensities that back their enthusiastic well-being. Social bolster is another pivotal calculate in enthusiastic direction. Having a organize of steady companions, family individuals, or colleagues gives a buffer against push and offers openings for passionate expression and approval. Develop people recognize the significance of social associations and contribute in building and keeping up important relationships. Understanding and sympathy are foundational viewpoints of human interaction, fundamentally to the improvement of development and enthusiastic insights. In the domain of brain research, these concepts play pivotal parts in forming individuals' social behaviors, connections, and generally well-being. Development, especially in mental terms, includes the capacity to empathize with others, to comprehend differing points of view, and to illustrate kindness in different circumstances, indeed in the midst of challenges. Empathy, as characterized by clinicians, includes the capacity to see and get at the feelings and points of view of others. It goes past insignificant sensitivity or feel sorry for. Compassion requires a dynamic engagement with another person's sentiments and encounters, permitting people to interface sincerely and cognitively. This capacity is considered principal to successful communication, struggle determination, and the foundation of steady relationships. Psychological hypotheses on sympathy regularly recognize between diverse sorts or components of sympathy. One predominant show categorizes compassion into cognitive compassion and full of feeling compassion. Cognitive sympathy relates to the mental understanding of another person's feelings and contemplations, though full of feeling compassion includes feeling and sharing another person's passionate state. Both shapes are fundamental for comprehensive sympathetic reactions, empowering people to both get a handle on and resound with the encounters of others. The improvement of compassion starts early in life and proceeds to advance through social intuitive encounters and mental development. Amid childhood, compassion at first shows through basic shapes of enthusiastic virus, where youthful children reflect the feelings they watch in others. As cognitive capacities develop, children continuously create a more nuanced understanding of feelings and points of view, improving their sympathetic capabilities. Parents and caregivers play a significant part in supporting compassion in children by modeling compassionate behaviors, empowering perspective-taking, and cultivating passionate education. Through direction and support, children learn to recognize and react to the feelings of others, laying the foundation for more complex sympathetic abilities in youth and adulthood. Throughout youth, people experience noteworthy enthusiastic and social improvement, which shapes their capacity for compassion. Teenagers regularly encounter increased affectability to peer impacts and social flow, inciting them to refine their understanding of others' feelings and points of view. Peer connections, clashes, and encounters of consideration or prohibition contribute to adolescent sympathetic development, affecting their capacity to explore interpersonal challenges and construct important connections. As people move into adulthood, their capacity for sympathy proceeds to advance in reaction to assorted life encounters and interpersonal connections. Grown-up sympathy includes not as it were understanding and sharing feelings but to illustrating sympathy and giving back to others in times of require. Developed sympathy includes a adjusted integration of cognitive understanding and passionate responsiveness, empowering people to lock in empathetically over different individual and proficient contexts. The development of sympathy is closely interlaced with broader mental concepts such as passionate insights, EI, and social competence. Passionate insights includes the capacity to recognize, get it, and oversee one's possessed feelings as well as to see and impact the feelings of others. Compassion serves as a foundation of EI, contributing to compelling communication, strife determination, and collaborative problem solving. Research in brain research underscores the positive results related with tall levels of sympathy, both for people and for society as an entire. Compassionate people tend to show more prominent prosocial behavior, counting thoughtfulness, benevolence, and participation, which contribute to the foundation of steady social systems and cohesive communities. Additionally, compassion cultivates shared understanding and resistance, bridging contrasts and advancing valuable discourse over differing social, ideological, and interpersonal boundaries. The mental benefits of compassion expand past interpersonal connections to include person well-being and mental well-being. Locks in sympathetic intuitive can improve self-esteem, advance strength in the confront of difficulty, and decrease sentiments of depression or segregation. By empathizing with others, people frequently pick up a broader point of view on their claim encounters and challenges, cultivating individual development and mental resilience. However, the hone of sympathy is not without challenges and potential pitfalls. Sympathetic trouble, commonly alluded to as kindness weariness or burnout, can happen when people involvement enthusiastic fatigue from reliably locks in with others' trouble or enduring. This marvel is especially predominant among caregivers, healthcare experts, and people in making a difference callings who routinely stand up to others' enthusiastic pain. Empathetic reactions may be impacted by different variables, counting social standards, individual inclinations, and situational settings. Social contrasts in enthusiastic expression and communication styles can affect individuals' elucidations of others' feelings and their reactions to compassionate prompts. Moreover, oblivious inclinations or generalizations may ruin individuals' capacity to empathize completely with people from diverse social, racial, or financial backgrounds. Psychological Inquirer about recognizes the energetic nature of compassion, emphasizing the potential for compassion to be developed, improved, and refined through purposefulness, hone, and self-awareness. Procedures such as perspective-taking works out, role-playing scenarios, and mindfulness-based hones can encourage the improvement of sympathetic aptitudes, empowering people to broaden their understanding of different viewpoints and upgrade their interpersonal effectiveness. Fostering a strong and compassionate environment inside families, schools, working environments, and communities can advance collective compassion and social cohesion. Activities that energize compassion instruction, strife determination preparing, and comprehensive communication hones contribute to the development of compassionate behaviors and demeanors among people of all ages and backgrounds. Self-awareness stands as a foundation of mental development, including a significant acknowledgement and understanding of one's inward world, emotions, contemplations, qualities, shortcomings, and the effect of one's activities on oneself and others. This multifaceted concept is essential in forming individual development, upgrading enthusiastic insights, and cultivating important connections inside both individual and proficient spheres. At its center, self-awareness includes an reflective prepare through which people pick up knowledge into their claim contemplations, sentiments, and behaviors. This contemplation amplifies past unimportant self-reflection. It includes a cognizant exertion to investigate one's inspirations, values, and convictions, in this manner enlightening the basic components that impact decision-making and interpersonal interactions. Psychological writing regularly recognizes between two essential aspects of self-awareness, inner self-awareness and outside self-awareness. Inner self-awareness relates to an individual's capacity to precisely recognize their possessed feelings, values, and inspirations. This inner reflection empowers people to recognize their qualities and shortcomings, recognize their feelings without judgment, and adjust their activities with their center values and aspirations. External self-awareness, on the other hand, includes an individual's capacity to see how others see them. It envelopes in mindfulness of how one's behavior and communication fashion affect others, as well as an openness to criticism and useful feedback from others. Outside self-awareness cultivates sympathy and interpersonal understanding, encouraging successful communication and collaborative relationships. The advancement of self-awareness starts early in life and advances through continuous encounters, connections, and individual development forms. Amid childhood and youth, people steadily gotten to be more adjusted to their possessed feelings and inclinations, as well as to the social desires and standards that shape their sense of self. Parental direction, peer intelligence, and instructive encounters play significant parts in sustaining self-awareness by giving openings for self-exploration, character arrangement, and enthusiastic regulation. As people move into adulthood, the development of self-awareness gets to be progressively interwoven with broader life encounters and proficient advancement. In proficient settings, self-awareness contributes to viable administration, decision-making, and strife determination. Pioneers who have a tall degree of self-awareness are superior prepared to get at their claim qualities and restrictions, use their enthusiastic insights to motivate and spur others, and adjust their administration styles to meet organizational challenges. Moreover, self-awareness serves as a catalyst for individual development and mental versatility. By recognizing and tolerating their possessed feelings, people can explore life's challenges with more noteworthy realness and flexibility. Self-awareness cultivates a sense of responsibility for one's activities and choices, advancing individual obligation and moral decision-making in different contexts. The hone of mindfulness regularly complements the improvement of self-awareness by empowering people to develop present-moment mindfulness and non-judgmental acknowledgement of their contemplations and sentiments. Mindfulness methods, such as reflection and profound breathing workout, improve individuals' capacity to watch their inside encounters without getting to be overpowered or responsive. By cultivating a careful approach to self-awareness, people can develop more prominent passionate stretch versatility, and by and large well-being. In helpful settings, self-awareness plays a central part in the prepare of self-discovery and individual development. Psychodynamic approaches, cognitive behavioral treatment, CBT, and mindfulness-based intercessions regularly join procedures outlined to upgrade clients' self-awareness by investigating oblivious designs of behavior, challenging maladaptive thought designs, and advancing versatile adapting strategies. Furthermore, self-awareness is necessarily to building true and satisfying connections. By understanding their claim enthusiastic needs, boundaries, and communication styles, people can set up more beneficial interpersonal associations based on common regard and compassion. Self-awareness empowers people to explore clashes valuably, express their needs emphatically, and develop sympathy for others' viewpoints and experiences. Despite its various benefits, the development of self-awareness can display challenges and deterrents. People may experience resistance to recognizing and tolerating viewpoints of themselves that are awkward or troublesome to go up against. Fear of powerlessness, compulsiveness, and societal desires may ruin individuals' eagerness to lock in profound self-reflection and introspection. Cultural and relevant variables can impact the advancement of self-awareness, forming individuals' recognitions of personality, self-worth, and social parts. Social contrasts in passionate expression, independence versus collectivism, and states of mind toward contemplation may affect how people explore their self-awareness travel inside different social frameworks. Long-term considering speaks to a vital angle of mental development, reflecting individuals' capacity to consider future results and prioritize objectives that rise above prompt delight. This cognitive capacity supports decision-making forms, shapes individual yearnings, and impacts different spaces of life, counting career victory, monetary steadiness, well-being, and interpersonal connections. Understanding the elements of long-term considering includes investigating cognitive forms, motivational components, and the mental benefits related with prioritizing persevering objectives over short-term rewards. At its center, long-term considering includes the capacity to extend oneself into the future and expect potential results of display activities. This cognitive prepare draws upon official capacities such as arranging, goal setting, and motivation control, which are fundamental for exploring complex life choices and accomplishing supported individual development. People who display solid long-term considering abilities are regularly proficient at deferring quick satisfaction in favor of seeking after objectives that contribute to their by and large well-being and fulfillment. Psychological inquire about on decision-making underscores the significance of worldly marking down, which alludes to the inclination for people to put more noteworthy esteem on prompt rewards compared to postponed rewards. Whereas worldly reducing is a normal cognitive inclination, people with increased long-term considering capabilities illustrate a more noteworthy capacity to overcome this inclination and prioritize postponed delight. This capacity is related with higher levels of self-control, strength, and objective determination, empowering people to keep up center on long-term destinations in spite of experiencing deterrents or setbacks. Motivational hypotheses, such as goal-setting hypothesis and self-determination hypothesis, give encourage bits of knowledge into the mental instruments that drive long-term considering. Goal-setting hypothesis sets that setting particular, challenging objectives upgrades individuals' commitment and execution, especially when objectives are adjusted with inherent values and long-term desires. By building up clear destinations and turning points, people can maintain inspiration over amplified periods, cultivating a sense of reason and course in their endeavors. Self-determination hypothesis emphasizes the part of inborn inspiration in cultivating long-term considering and objective interest. Concurring to this hypothesis, people are driven by intrinsic mental needs for independence, competence, and relatedness, which impact their engagement in goal-directed behaviors. When people seek after objectives that reverberate with their center values and desires, they are more likely to show supported exertion and versatility in overcoming deterrents, subsequently improving their capacity to accomplish long-term victory and fulfillment. The development of long-term considering is affected by different variables inside individual, social, and natural settings. In childhood and puberty, parental direction and instructive encounters play essential parts in supporting future-oriented behaviors and cognitive aptitudes. Guardians who demonstrate long-term considering and emphasize the significance of postponed delight contribute to their children's advancement of official capacities and self-regulatory capacities, which are basic for making educated choices and accomplishing scholastic and individual goals. Instructive situations that advance goal setting, arranging, and vital considering encourage fortify the advancement of long-term considering aptitudes among understudies. By joining educational modules components that emphasize future-oriented learning goals and career arranging, teachers can prepare understudies with the cognitive instruments and mental assets vital for exploring moves and making educated choices in youth and adulthood. As people move into adulthood, the hone of long-term considering gets to be progressively entwined with individual and proficient improvement. In career settings, long-term considering empowers people to set career objectives, seek after expertise advancement openings, and make key choices that adjust with their proficient goals. Experts who prioritize non-stop learning and versatility are superior situated to explore energetic work situations, capitalize on rising openings, and accomplish long-term career success. Financial decision-making speaks to another space where long-term considering plays a significant part in forming individuals' money-related solidness and security. People who hone monetary arranging, budgeting, and sparing illustrate a capacity to prioritize future monetary objectives, such as retirement arranging or speculation techniques, over quick investing or utilization. By developing monetary education and receiving judicious money-related propensities, people can moderate monetary dangers and construct a strong establishment for long-term money-related well-being. Health and well-being moreover advantage from long-term considering, as people who prioritize solid way of life choices and preventive healthcare measures are more likely to encounter maintained physical and mental well-being over their life expectancy. Long-term well-being behaviors, such as standard workout, adjusted sustenance, satisfactory rest, and stretch administration, contribute to illness avoidance, lifespan, and generally quality of life. By contributing in health-promoting behaviors early in life, people can optimize their well-being results and decrease the probability of unremitting well-being conditions related with undesirable way of life habits. Interpersonal connections are additionally affected by long-term considering, as people who prioritize social ventures and passionate closeness tend to develop more steady and satisfying connections over time. Long-term connections require continuous communication, shared back, and struggle determination aptitudes, which are supported through shared encounters, trust building, and passionate attunement. By contributing time and exertion in cultivating important associations with others, people can develop strong social systems that contribute to their by and large well-being and strength in the confront of life's challenges. Psychological benefits related with long-term considering expand past person results to envelop broader societal suggestions. Social orders that prioritize future-oriented arrangements and ventures in instruction, healthcare, foundation, and natural supportability are superior situated to address long-term challenges and advance maintainable advancement. By cultivating a culture of long-term considering and collective obligation, social orders can moderate dangers, advance versatility, and improve quality of life for current and future generations. Responsibility, in its substance, means the capacity and eagerness to recognize the results of one's activities, whether positive or negative. It encapsulates an essential angle of mental development, reflecting individuals' capacity to possess up to their choices, behaviors, and choices without diverting fault or making pardons. This trademark of development includes a few measurements: counting responsibility, self-reflection, development mentality, and interpersonal judgment, each contributing to individual advancement and cultivating valuable connections inside social and proficient contexts. At its center, taking duty includes recognizing the effect of one's activities on oneself and others. This involves recognizing when botches have been made, notwithstanding of the circumstances, and taking proactive steps to address any hurt caused or lessons to be learned. By tolerating responsibility, people illustrate astuteness and moral mindfulness, fortifying belief and validity in their intuitive with others. Psychologically, the capacity to take obligation is closely connected to self-awareness and enthusiastic insights. People who have a solid sense of self-awareness are more likely to recognize their qualities, confinements, and ranges for change, encouraging a practical examination of their activities and behaviors. This reflective prepare empowers people to distinguish designs of behavior, decision-making predispositions, and basic inspirations that may impact their choices. Moreover, taking duty cultivates a development mentality, characterized by a conviction in one's capacity to learn, adjust, and create through encounter. Instead of seeing difficulties or disappointments as inconceivably impediments, people with a development attitude see challenges as openings for individual development and expertise refinement. By grasping obligation for their activities, people develop flexibility, tirelessness, and a proactive approach to overcoming adversity. Learning from botches speaks to a significant viewpoint of taking obligation, as it includes extricating important bits of knowledge and applying them to future choices and behaviors. By locks in intelligent hones, such as self-assessment, journaling, or looking for helpful criticism from others, people can develop their understanding of the components contributing to past results and refine their procedures for accomplishing craved goals. In differentiate, maintaining a strategic distance from duty or moving fault onto others blocks individual development and undermines interpersonal belief. People who continually divert responsibility may encounter strained connections, decreased validity, and missed openings for learning and advancement. In proficient settings, a hesitance to take obligation can disintegrate group cohesion, prevent collaborative endeavors, and weaken organizational effectiveness. The hone of taking duty expands past person activities to envelop moral contemplations and social duties inside broader societal settings. Moral obligation involves maintaining standards of decency, keenness, and regard for others' rights and well-being. By following to moral measures and advancing responsibility in proficient conduct, people contribute to organizational straightforwardness, moral authority, and feasible commerce practices. Furthermore, social obligation includes recognizing one's part in contributing to the welfare of communities and society at large. Whether through volunteerism, magnanimity, or promotion for social equity issues, people can use their assets and impact to impact positive alter and address systemic challenges. By taking obligation for cultivating comprehensive situations and supporting for impartial openings, people contribute to collective endeavors pointed at advancing social cohesion and tending to disparities. Cultural and relevant components shape individuals' discernments and hones related to duty, affecting demeanors toward responsibility, self-reliance, and collective well-being. In societies that prioritize communal agreement and common back, people may see obligation as a shared commitment to contribute to the welfare of the community and maintain collective values. Alternately, in societies that emphasize independence and individual accomplishment, obligation may be seen as an expression of individual astuteness and self-discipline. A development mentality is a mental concept that essentially contributes to development. Coined by clinician Carol Dweck, a development attitude reflects the conviction that capacities and insights can be created through commitment, difficult work, and diligence. This contrasts with a settled attitude, where people accept their capacities and insights are inactive and unchangeable. Developed people frequently epitomize a development mentality, seeing challenges as openings for learning and self-improvement or maybe than dangers to their self-esteem. At its center, a development mentality energizes a demeanor of interest and openness towards learning. It is characterized by a readiness to grasp challenges, hold on in the confront of mishaps, and see exertion as a way to authority. People with a development mentality get it that disappointment is not a reflection of their inalienable worth or capabilities but a common portion of the learning prepare that offers profitable experiences for future success. One of the essential benefits of a development mentality is its effect on learning and individual improvement. Individuals who receive a development attitude are more likely to take on modern challenges, look for criticism, and hold on in their endeavors to make strides. This point of view cultivates versatility, as people learn to see impediments as brief and surmountable. Subsequently, they are more likely to accomplish their long-term objectives and involvement ceaseless individual and proficient growth. The improvement of a development attitude starts early in life and can be altogether impacted by the environment and encounters. Guardians, teachers, and guides play pivotal parts in forming this mentality by empowering a door of learning and lauding exertion or maybe than intrinsic ability. For case, when children are lauded for their difficult work and tirelessness or maybe than their insights, they are more likely to create a development mentality. This strengthens the conviction that they can progress their capacities through exertion and dedication. In instructive settings, cultivating a development mentality can lead to progressed scholastic execution and a more prominent eagerness to lock in challenging errands. Instructors who emphasize the significance of exertion, give useful criticism, and make a steady learning environment offer assistance understudies create a development mentality. Such an environment energizes understudies to take dangers, make botches, and learn from them, eventually improving their scholastic and individual growth. A development mentality moreover plays an imperative part in proficient advancement and career victory. In the work environment, people with a development attitude are more likely to look for proficient advancement openings, grasp modern challenges, and adjust to changing circumstances. This proactive approach to learning and advancement can lead to expanded work fulfillment, career headway, and in general victory. Bosses who develop a development attitude inside their organizations can cultivate a culture of development, collaboration, and persistent improvement. Moreover, A development attitude improves interpersonal connections by advancing compassion, open-mindedness, and successful communication. People with a development attitude are more likely to look for input and see clashes as openings for development and understanding. This state of mind cultivates more advantageous, more steady connections, as people are willing to tune in, learn from others, and work collaboratively to resolve differences. The mental underpinnings of a development mentality are closely connected to self-efficacy, which is the conviction in one's capacity to succeed in particular circumstances or fulfill errands. People with tall self-efficacy are more likely to set challenging objectives, endure in their endeavors, and bounce back from difficulties. A development attitude strengthens self-efficacy by empowering people to accept in their capacity for development and enhancement, in this way improving their inspiration and perseverance. Neuroscientific Investigate bolsters the concept of a development mentality by illustrating the brain's surprising capacity for neuroplasticity, the capacity to reorganize itself by shaping modern neural associations all through life. This proof underscores the thought that learning and advancement are progressing forms that can be upgraded through exertion and hone. Understanding the brain's versatility can strengthen a development attitude, empowering people to grasp challenges and continue in their endeavors to improve. In expansion to its effect on person improvement, a development attitude has broader societal suggestions. Social orders that advance a development mentality are more likely to cultivate advancement, social portability, and financial advance. By empowering people to accept in their potential for development and change, social orders can develop a culture of deep-rooted learning and persistent advancement, which can drive collective advance and well-being. Developing and keeping up a development attitude requires progressing exertion and self-reflection. People may experience impediments such as fear of disappointment, settled attitude convictions, and societal weights that can ruin the appropriation of a development mentality. Overcoming these challenges includes developing self-awareness, looking for strong situations, and practicing self-compassion. Strategies such as mindfulness, journaling, and goal setting can offer assistance people strengthen a development attitude and remain committed to their individual and proficient growth. Balancing diverse viewpoints of life, such as work, family, and individual time, is a trademark of development that reflects an individual's capacity to oversee their obligations and needs successfully. This adjust is significant for keeping up generally well-being and accomplishing a sense of fulfillment in life. Developed people get at the significance of concordance among these regions and utilize different techniques to accomplish and keep up this adjust. This includes time administration, setting needs, keeping up boundaries, and practicing self-care. At the heart of accomplishing an adjusted life is the acknowledgement that distinctive perspectives of life are interconnected and impact one another. Work, family, and individual time are not separated silos but portion of an energetic framework where awkward nature in one region can influence the others. Developed people recognize this interconnecting and endeavor to apportion their time and vitality in ways that back their general well-being. Successful time administration is a basic aptitude for accomplishing a just in life. Developed people are proficient at arranging and organizing their plans to guarantee that they can fulfill their work duties, spend quality time with their families, and devote time to individual interests and self-care. This regularly includes setting reasonable objectives, prioritizing errands, and being careful of how they spend their time. Instruments such as calendars, to-do records, and time-blocking methods can be instrumental in overseeing time effectively. Setting needs is another basic angle of adjusting life. Developed people get it that they cannot do everything at once and that a few assignments and obligations are more imperative than others. They are talented at recognizing their center values and adjusting their activities with these values. For case, if family is a best need, they will make beyond any doubt to distribute time for family exercises and obligations, indeed if it implies making penances in other areas. Maintaining boundaries is significant for accomplishing an adjusted life. Developed people recognize the significance of setting clear boundaries between work, family, and individual time to anticipate any one zone from infringing on the others. This might include building up particular work hours and following to them, making family schedules and conventions, and guaranteeing that individual time is secured and regarded. By setting and keeping up these boundaries, people can make a sense of structure and consistency in their lives, which contributes to in general well-being. Self-care is an imperative component of adjusting life. Developed people get it that taking care of themselves is basic for being able to fulfill their obligations and appreciate life. Self-care can take numerous shapes, counting physical exercises like workout and sound eating, mental exercises like reflection and unwinding, and social exercises like investing time with companions and seeking after pastimes. By prioritizing self-care, people can energize their vitality and keep up the flexibility required to explore life's challenges. The capacity to adjust diverse angles of life too includes versatility and adaptability. Life is energetic, and unforeseen occasions and changes are inescapable. Developed people are able to adjust to these changes and alter their plans and needs as required. This might include incidentally moving center to address a family crisis, taking a break from work to revive, or finding modern ways to coordinated individual interface into an active plan. By being adaptable and versatile, people can explore life's ups and downs whereas keeping up a sense of adjust and control. Communication plays a vital part in adjusting life. Developed people are compelling communicators who can express their needs, set desires, and arrange duties with others. This is particularly vital in family and work settings, where clear communication can offer assistance, anticipate mistaken assumptions, and guarantee that everyone's needs are met. For case, examining work plans with an accomplice, setting boundaries with colleagues, and communicating individual needs can all contribute to a more adjusted and agreeable life. Balancing diverse angles of life moreover requires a long-term viewpoint. Developed people get it that adjust is not accomplished through short-term fixes but through progressing endeavors and alterations. They recognize that diverse stages of life may require diverse approaches to adjust. For illustration, the adjust required amid early career stages or when raising youthful children may be distinctive from the adjust required afterward in life. By keeping up a long-term point of view and being willing to alter their approach as circumstances alter, people can accomplish supported adjust and fulfillment. Thank you for watching our video.